Hello everyone. Hi. So finally, there were a lot of issues. We faced a lot of technical issues. Sorry for the delay. Uh, I I hope I hope all of you are able to hear us loud and clear. So we will begin now. So as you all know, the reason that you are here is because UPSC has come up with the official notification for the EPFO APFC and EO/AO exam. So अब आगे का सेशन हम लोग थोड़ा हिंदी में रखते हैं। मेरे को लगता है ज़्यादा लोग रिलेट कर पाएंगे और हम लोगों का आज का ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि हम लोग इस नोटिफिकेशन को डिकोड करेंगे कि इसमें है क्या। आप सब जानते हैं कि 2 एग्ज़ाम्स का नोटिफिकेशन एक साथ में आया है, तो इसका क्या मीनिंग है? क्या 2 अलग-अलग एग्ज़ाम्स होंगे? क्या 2 अलग-अलग फॉर्म्स भरने होंगे? कैसे भरना होगा फॉर्म्स? ये सब हम लोग जानेंगे आज। धनंजय सर है हमारे साथ। I'll introduce Dr. Dhananjay. Dr. Dhananjay is serving as an enforcement officer at EPFO, and he was a topper of the 2017 batch, and he has been serving as an EO since, and he'll be taking over from here now. We'll start with the basics. सर हम लोग basics से start करते हैं और EPFO क्या होता है, इसका रोल क्या है?
बिल्कुल सर। तो जैसा कि सर ने बताया, बट वही सर ने एक फैक्ट मिस कर दिया इसमें कि राहुल सर हैड 11th रैंक व्हेन द लास्ट एपीएफसी एग्जाम वाज हेल्ड। तो लास्ट 2015 के बाद ये अभी 2023 में एपीएफसी के लिए एग्जाम हो रहा है फिर से। और वैकेंसीज भी मेरे ख्याल से लास्ट टाइम 170 थी, इस साल 159 है। तो टोटल 577 वैकेंसीज हैव कम अप, 418 ईओएओ की, 159 एपीएफसी की। तो एक बहुत गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी है सभी यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए कि सिलेबस मोर और लेस सिमिलर है, थोड़ा बहुत ओवरलैप है, थोड़ा बहुत एक्स्ट्रा भी कुछ है इसमें। तो मैं ईपीएफओ ज्वाइन करने से पहले मुझे ईपीएफओ के बारे में ज्यादा जानकारी नहीं थी। तो मुझे लगता है ऑन अ सिमिलर नोट ज्यादातर एस्पिरेंट्स को ईपीएफओ के बारे में कुछ गहराई से जानकारी नहीं होती। तो सबसे पहले तो हमारा टारगेट है हम ये समझ ले एक बार कि ईपीएफओ है क्या, करती क्या है और किस तरीके की जॉब्स हैं। ये दोनों जो 2 जॉब प्रोफाइल्स ऑन ऑफर हैं, ये किस तरीके की जॉब प्रोफाइल्स हैं, इसमें आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है कि आप क्या करके देंगे। तो पहला सवाल, ईपीएफओ क्या है और किस तरीके से फंक्शन करती है। ईपीएफओ की फुल फॉर्म है एम्प्लॉइज प्रोविडेंट फंड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और ये मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लेबर के अंतर्गत आने वाली एक स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी है। और ज्यादातर एस्पिरेंट्स हैं हमारे साथ तो उनको आइडिया होगा कि स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी एक कोई भी ऐसी बॉडी जो किसी कानून के द्वारा भारतीय पार्लियामेंट ने बनाया हो, उसको स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी बोलते हैं। तो एक 1952 का एक्ट है, ईपीएफ एंड एमपी एक्ट, जिसके तहत इसका निर्माण हुआ। और इसका काम है सोशल सिक्योरिटी यानी सामाजिक सुरक्षा प्रदान करना लोगों को। तो ये कैसे करता है? ये 3 स्कीम्स रन करता है। एक ईपीएफ स्कीम जो 1952 से चली आ रही है, दूसरी पेंशन स्कीम जो पहले फैमिली पेंशन स्कीम होती थी, बाद में एम्प्लॉइज पेंशन स्कीम 1995 के नाम से जाना जाता है जिसको, और तीसरी है एम्प्लॉइज डिपॉजिट लिंक्ड इंश्योरेंस स्कीम। तो ये 3 स्कीम्स में, और आप इमेजिन करेंगे ईपीएफओ कितनी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, करीब 25 करोड़ के आसपास अकाउंट्स ईपीएफओ मेंटेन करता है। और 6 करोड़ से ज्यादा, मेरे ख्याल 6 करोड़ 86 लाख के आसपास कुछ एक्टिवली कंट्रीब्यूटिंग मेंबर्स हैं ईपीएफओ का आज की डेट में। तो बहुत सारे देशों की जनसंख्या होती है सर 6 करोड़, तो 7 करोड़ के आसपास हमारे पास ईपीएफओ में कंट्रीब्यूटिंग मेंबर्स हैं। और 7.5 लाख के आसपास स्टैब्लिशमेंट्स, जिन्हें कंपनी कह सकते हैं, फैक्ट्री कह सकते हैं, वो रजिस्टर्ड हैं ईपीएफओ के अंतर्गत। तो कितने बड़े स्केल की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। और कुछ लोग एस्टिमेट लगाते हैं कि 12,000 करोड़ के आसपास का कुछ कॉर्पस है ईपीएफओ के पास, जनरली जो एक अच्छे बड़े स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का बजट होता है हमारे इंडिया में। तो इतनी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और इसीलिए कहते हैं कि जब ईपीएफओ पैसा लगाता है, जैसे कुछ 15% पैसा इक्विटी में लगाता है, तो इतना बड़ा कॉर्पस, और उस कॉर्पस का अगर 15% इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रहा है कहीं, तो बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन, और कहते हैं शेयर बाजार हिल जाता है। इस तरीके से एक वो यूज करते हैं कि ईपीएफओ की इन्वेस्टमेंट से शेयर मार्केट हिल जाता है। तो आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि एक ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो नॉन मिनिस्टेरियल है, मिनिस्ट्री के डायरेक्ट कंट्रोल में नहीं है, एक स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी है, इसका पैरेलल सिस्टम है, वो इस तरीके का उसका एक्सटेंट है। और इसको आप अगर कंपैरिजन करना है थोड़ा बहुत, तो ईएसआईसी से कर सकते हैं कि ईएसआईसी भी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लेबर के अंतर्गत आने वाली एक ऐसी ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जो स्टैट्यूटरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, बट दोनों में काफी फर्क है। तो ईपीएफओ में होता क्या है कि जितनी प्राइवेट कंपनीज है, जैसे 7.5 लाख, अभी एक नंबर मैंने आपको दिया कि हमारी साइट पे आता है कि 7.5 लाख के आसपास कंपनीज हैं, उन सभी कंपनियों में काम करने वाले जो भी लोग हैं वो 12% अपनी सैलरी का और 12% जो उनका नियोक्ता एम्प्लॉयर है वो कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा। तो टोटल 24% उनकी सैलरी का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है वो यहाँ पे ईपीएफओ में जमा हो जाता है। अब उस पैसे को जो ईपीएफओ है वो निवेश करता है, उसके ऊपर वो पैसा कमाता है और उस पैसे से प्राप्त होने वाले ब्याज से या उस इनकम से वो लोगों को इंटरेस्ट देता है। और उसी से, जैसे 24% ये हो गया, उसके अलावा 1% पैसा जो एम्प्लॉयर है वो एक्स्ट्रा पे करता है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव चार्जेस के रूप में। तो उस 1% पैसे से पूरा ईपीएफओ का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रन होता है। विभाग के सभी लोगों की सैलरी, जैसे हम जैसे एम्प्लॉयज हैं उनकी सैलरी भी आती है। तो इस तरीके से ईपीएफओ का एक सेल्फ सफाइस्ड या सेल्फ सफिशिएंट एक फाइनेंस का मॉडल है, जिसमें ईपीएफओ कोई भी बजटरी सपोर्ट भारत सरकार से नहीं लेता है।
Okay. Sir, there have been some requests to, continue in English also. So I think we should mix it a little bit.
Okay.
And another thing, a request to all of you, keep putting in your doubts and queries also. We can directly address those if you want.
Okay, fine, sir.
So, sir, we were talking about EPFO. EPFO is definitely a very good organization. It comes under the Labor Ministry, and I've been in the EPFO, and I've seen that the organization as such is very robust. So, coming to the job profiles of APFC and EOAO, what is the difference, and can you tell the organization structure also?
Yeah. So basically, sir, like other organizations, EPFO is divided into zones for easier administration. So currently there are 20 to 22 zones, and more often than not, it's one state, one zone. However, there are violations to this rule as well. So EPFO once is divided into zones, and within the zones come the regions. So suppose those 22 zones, they cover a number of regions. Each zone is divided into regions, and in one region there can be or cannot be more than one district offices as well. So all in all, there are 135 offices of EPFO currently running in India. That includes both regional offices as well as the district offices. So these zones and regions and districts, they form the offices of EPFO. However, zonal offices and the head office in Delhi, they are the administrative office only. However, the regional offices and the district offices are the field offices, which provide services to the EPFO subscribers.
This is an interesting perspective. Lot of people are always, thinking about doing field jobs. Some people, like field jobs also. So I think, would you consider both of them, the APFC and EOAO, as both as a field job, or how is it?
Yeah, sir. So here it goes like that. For enforcement officer is completely a field job. However, for APFCs, we can say that it's a mixed job, because you have all the access to field, because you are a supervisory authority in the sense of implementation of all the programs, all the schemes, etc. Therefore, all the officers starting from enforcement officers till the Central Provident Fund Commissioner, they are designated as inspectors under the EPFNMP Act itself. So all of them, they can go to the field, they can do the work of inspection. Therefore, we can say that both the EOAO as well as the APFC, they are in a way field job as well. However, enforcement officer and accounts officer, we have two profiles here. Enforcement officer out of the two is completely a field job. However, APFC is a mixed profile in which you have all the powers of the inspector as well to go to the field and do the required stuff. So we were talking about the differences between APFC and EOAO profile. So basically, like I just said, AO EO is one of the rare profiles which is a mixed profile. You get the chance of going to the field as well for 2-3 years at a stretch, and then you are posted as accounts officer in office, and then you get to do the desk job as well. So the newly recruited AO EO, they are preferably posted to the office only for 1 year at least. After 1 year, when they are well versed with the departmental rules and regulations, they can be posted to field as well. However, for APFC, there is no such discrimination between right from the word go. They have all the powers, they have all the resources, all the provisions apply, and there is no duality of roles. However, you must have seen in the notification only that there are 6-7 profiles. One is the job of enforcement, one is the job of pension, job of recovery, legal, cash, RTI. So there are a number of roles and number of departments in which the EPFO is divided. And in all those roles, APFC acts as a supervisory authority. And well, we can say that in some ways AOU also acts as supervisory authority. However, since APFCs, they are at a higher pedestal than AOU, they are in a greater supervisory capacity, and they handle more number of staff when it comes to looking after their work and ensuring smooth flow of the office. So yes.
So in summary, like what I would say is that basically the bulk of the office staff is Group C level officers or Group C level staff who make up the bulk of the force, and above them are the enforcement officers and account officers. They lead those teams for various different kind of tasks, like accounts, for example. So accounts officer leads the accounts team also in a way. And above the rank of EOAO, which is a Group B post, central government, lies APFC, which is a Group A post. And talking about APFC as a Group A post, you realize that this is equivalent to your all the other Group A posts in UPSC civil services, like IAS, IPS, IRS, IRTS, IDAS, and so on and so forth. So these are all at par when it comes to being in the service criteria or the central government hierarchy. Right, the hierarchy remains more or less the same. So talking about, sir, these two job profiles, what do you think is the correct timeline to say when EO or AO will get promoted to APFC? Like if suppose someone is giving both the exams, how much at disadvantage are somebody who is qualifying AO vis-a-vis APFC?
So here, unfortunately, the situation is not very, hopeful or maybe optimistic when it comes to promotions for Group B officers, because most of you must be aware that in India, for promotion from Group B to A, there are no departmental exams. So all you have to wait for is the departmental promotion only. So that promotion takes a lot of time. And in EPFO, the record has been that the previous AOEO batch, which joined in 1999, it did not get promotion even after 15-16 years. So it took them 16-17 years, and that too after a lot of legal battles they had to fight in court. They got their promotions. So even till now, the cadre restructuring has not been done. Therefore, the chances of promotion, it cannot be commented surely. However, looking at the trend of UPSC, that UPSC examinations have been continuously being conducted now for EOAO, because two batches, one batch has recently joined, the another batch it will join after this exam. Since they are taking a lot of EOAO into the department, there are bound to be cadre restructuring and other changes so that their promotional avenues can be increased. However, if you talk at present, the promotional avenues, they are not very bright, to be honest.
All right. So you got a perspective, right? I hope you all got a perspective that what is the actual difference between the two posts, and that will help you, even better in your preparation. How much seriousness you want to put. So now coming to the notification, what does it say? Like, is there going to be two different exams, and does it also have different qualifications?
So very clearly they have specified that there are going to be separate exams for both these posts. So don't confuse that since in the notification the word is there is a common notification, there is a common platform on which the forms are being filled.
And we got a lot of queries also, sir. Like so many people are confused. Many people were thinking that it will be a single exam.
No, sir. It, very clearly in the notification, which has been posted on UPSC website today itself, it is specified that there are going to be 2 separate exams. However, they have created a common platform for application in which they ask whether you are applying for EPFO AO, EPFO APFC, or for both of them together. So
just like we see in UPSC Civil Services and Forest
Service, yes.
Same form is there. You can tick
whether you are applying for both one or another one, right? So that window is there while applying. So once you start the application form, you'll find it smooth enough. There are no multiple hassles in filling up the form. And sir, so your next question was about whether to how the roles of EPFO AO and EO versus APFC that we were discussing, right? So what we would suggest is, obviously, since APFC is a level 10 post with all the pay, perks, emoluments, etc., in respect of 7th pay commission, which are very much better in level 10. So all of you should aspire for that post only. However, we all are fortunate that the 2 notifications have come together. So for those who have have a hard luck and not able to clear that exam, you have the AO exam as well. So the approach can be similar. So we can discuss the other aspects about it.
Sure. So now jumping on to the preparation part, what strategy should students pursue? Because it's not yet clear that which exam will happen first and when the exams will actually happen. It's all speculative. So how should one approach this, especially those who are in the beginning stages of preparation of UPSC? There might be many of you who are not even preparing for UPSC.
Right, sir. So there are very clearly, as you said, 2 categories of aspirants here. One for those who are already in the fray for last 1 or 2 years, and the other category who are completely fresh for any preparation, who have had their graduation and they are waiting to start preparation. For those who are already in the preparation, they are already in the fray for maybe more than 1 year, then I would call them a real aspirant if they are have had 1 year of stint in the preparation. For them, the story is different. You have to jot down the overlaps and the differences. What extra is there in this syllabus? For that, the better way is to divide the whole syllabus into 3 compartments. One shall be the aptitude part, which covers the general studies, the English and the mathematics and related topics. And the second compartment should be the GS and the current affairs, which I think is same for most of the exams, including the UPSC Civil Services. The third compartment should be the other additions, which are very specific to this exam, which includes labor laws, the industrial relations, and the other such stuff.
So this 3-pronged categorization is very apt because being a UPSC aspirant or giving any other government exams, you might be well versed with the GS topics already. So this is one portion that is taken care of for most of you who are who have completed NCRTs, for example. If you have done your NCRTs properly, like one of the comments, someone was asking, like, I have completed NCRTs books. Now what should I do? So now my message to that guy is that you are already done quite a bit in that portion, the first part of the tripartite the classification that we have done. So now you are done with that one part. Now remains the 2 parts. The second part is basically the aptitude part, which is basically just like the CSAT paper, and which is also very similar to what we see in banking exams and other exams like SSC and many other exams also, because aptitude is very common. Even in your college placements, you might have attempted some of those aptitude questions. So the English is very basic. It is not of UPSC level from what I've seen, sir. And I have been blessed with good skills in aptitude wise. So I've thoroughly assessed the levels of the papers of various examination. So in APFC and EO also I saw a little bit of difference. It was a bit maths heavy. If you talk about our APFC paper of 2015, it was a bit maths heavy. Aptitude was like 1/3 of the entire paper, and it was quite almost 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 kind of a classification of these three areas. Like the aptitude was 1/3, 1/3 was GS related things, and another third was your labor law or EPFO specific things. And it's not just labor law. There are aspects like accounting or general principles of accounting is there, apart from labor laws, industrial relations, and some part of auditing is there, some part of social security is included. Computer applications is a big part, and general science, which you can include in GS also, but it is of special importance here, especially the technology part. So a lot of questions appear from there, and there are questions here and there about the general knowledge aspects also, like some awards, it might be there, some books or something like that. So those kind of specific current affairs are also there, but it is not something which I think most of the students should worry about. The general approach towards the exam will be like that the first part or the GS part should be considered taken care of by your UPSC preparation if you are doing it. If you are not doing it, the UPSC preparation, at least your NCRT should be thorough. You will be thorough with your NCRTs, which are the basics. I think the polity is very important amongst the GS. If we talk about,
so last time 9 questions were asked from polity.
9 questions from polity, and other topics also, like economy is very important. A lot of questions from economy. Some basic questions are there. So those areas you need to work upon, and history is also there to some extent.
Modern
history is there, the freedom struggle part.
Bearing geography, all the topics. In geography also you have to read environment and not geography. So the physical geography wala part you can skip. However, bearing geography, all the topics and from history you can omit ancient history as well. So modern and some part of medieval history also you can do. So these are the GS areas which you should prepare thoroughly. However, there are 1 or 2 different specific topics as well, sir. For example, there is one topic called population development and globalization that is mentioned differently in APFC syllabus. Although most of the pointers that UPSC has come up with in both EO and APFC's syllabus are same, this particular pointer I find of interest is population development and globalization. So UPSC has a habit of sticking to the syllabus, and it takes it literally on a number of occasions.
Definitely. In fact, these keywords also become very important. The 3 keywords that sir has mentioned, these keywords have become very important, and they should be covered very thoroughly.
Right. So, and so a lot of people, they are asking doubts personally about whether, so there are 20-30 questions which pertain to such areas which are very specific to EPFO and all. So if a serious aspirant does not prepare them all together and takes a gamble that one can go and prepare 80-90 questions, one is good at aptitude part, one is good at GS and current affairs. So is there a scenario in which a student can get selected only by these 2 compartments and by not doing this EPFO specific topics? So in that case, what my suggestion will be that please don't go into such gambling, because when sir appeared for APFC exam, when we appeared for EO exam, the times were different. This exam was not well.
The competition has increased a lot. A lot more people seem to be aware of the exam. Also, there are a lot many people who are filling the form this time. So expect a good lot of competition whenever the exam happens. So what our suggestion would be in terms of preparation is that now you need to at least be familiar with all the topics of the syllabus, and you need to at least practice those questions. If not, you go for it. If you don't want to go for a deep study, you can avoid that. But you need to at least be thorough with the practice of the questions from those areas at least. That is what I would recommend. And so, sir, there are some questions about the, the form filling, etc. Like Deepa has mentioned that some issues about her caste certificate, and another student has also inquired about the, the caste certificate issue.
Okay, right. So basically, the form has just opened today only. So Deepa, for such issues, it's a very technical and specific issue. What you can do is you can call the UPSC helpline tomorrow, and if there is some temporary server issue or maybe internet issue or UPSC website is not functioning properly, then you can try again once more. But if it does not work like that, so you can call the UPSC helpline only, because it's a very specific issue and most of the other candidates won't be facing that, right?
If and in general, I think if someone, if let's say if someone has uploaded some documents which is not 100% correct, I think UPSC gives enough opportunity and time to correct those things.
Completely true, sir, because I have had some experiences, similar experiences with UPSC. If you have provided some incorrect information, although it's written everywhere that your candidature is at risk and it's subject to cancellation, etc. However, on ground things don't work so sternly hard. UPSC, you can submit an affidavit later on if you have provided some false information by mistake or maybe a genuine error.
In fact, like problems like these when they have some old documents, जैसे किसी ने पुराना OBC certificate जमा कर दिया या कुछ इस तरह के, so I think they will give them another opportunity to submit a fresh one, right?
Definitely,
a latest one.
Definitely, because the major scrutiny of the documents takes place before the interview stage only.
Exactly.
So on the preliminary first stage, so Deepa, even if it's not taking the updated caste certificate, you don't need to worry much about it. At the interview stage, you will be personally called and you will be asked to provide all the latest documents. There will be a man-to-man verification of documents at that stage. So don't need to worry much about all this. And UPSC communicates to the candidates if it finds something which can lead to the cancellation of the candidature. So don't worry about all of this right now. And one is also asking about the strategy for you. Yeah, so the whole strategy depends on the number of hours you have available, because again we classify the aspirants into two categories: those who are working professionals and those who are full-time aspirants. So obviously those who are full-time, their major focus would not just be this exam only. They'll be focusing upon other exams, including.
In fact, sir, I would like to add another classification. Prelims is coming. Most of our students who are associated with Yatharth IAS, they are now completely dedicatedly preparing for the prelims examination, which is like 3 months far, because it will happen in the May end. So most of the students, I think, will be giving both these exams. They will be appearing for the prelims also, and they will be then going for the EPFO exams also. So for those kind of students, they can be a different strategy. And those who are not giving prelims, maybe they are skipping an attempt, maybe they are not interested in UPSC or something like that. But there might be a lot of those kind of students also.
Right, true.
So I think for UPSC students, you are already preparing for CSAT and you are already preparing for GS, right? So knowledge of both these areas will help you tackle the two main pillars out of the three of the EPFO exams also. The third remaining pillar that you can cover up after your prelims. You will get sufficient time, I believe and I hope, to your prelims examination of EPFO, either APFC or EO. So आपको इनफ टाइम मिलेगा प्रिपेयर करने के लिए वो जो बचे हुए टॉपिक्स हैं जैसे उसमें लेबर लॉज आता है, कंप्यूटर एप्लीकेशंस आता है, उसमें और अकाउंटिंग्स एंड ऑडिटिंग आता है. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस सेपरेट थर्ड पार्ट, इसमें बहुत अलग अलग टाइप के कंपोनेंट्स हैं और ड्यू टू योर एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड और योर इंटरेस्ट आप लोग इनमें कुछ एरियाज में आप पहले से अच्छे होंगे. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल लॉट ऑफ यू माइट बी इंजीनियर्स. नाउ इंजीनियर्स पहले से कंप्यूटर एप्लीकेशंस वाली चीजों से काफी कंफर्टेबल होंगे, क्योंकि इफ यू सी द सिलेबस इट्स अबाउट माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल. ये तो आजकल किसी को भी पता होता है, मतलब इवन नॉट जस्ट इंजीनियर्स,
You're right, sir. And I would like to add to it some things which are very easy for engineering graduates. They are not for people like me who come from a medical background. Even very simple questions, I find it difficult to answer in computer applications. So it depends on your background very correctly, like you pointed out. If you are not from a technical background, you have studied arts in your humanities in your 11th, 12th and your graduation, you need to, do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, sir, again, you have raised a nice thing because what happens is that for those students whose CSAT or aptitude part is not very strong, उनके लिए भी एग्जाम बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है सर क्रैक करना. इनफैक्ट एट ड्यूरिंग माय टाइम आई कुड सिक्योर such high marks in the written and I could secure such a good rank because my aptitude part was very strong and it gave me that edge to to stand out of the crowd.
Right. So that is why you were able to get that cutting edge 11th rank as well, because that would have not only just helped you in getting into the list, but your rank also went up because
very
of
very true, because I think my interview was not very good. It was above average, I would say, but they don't declare the marks, by the way. So you don't know what is the breakup of your interview and written score. This is also one big lacuna in this whole process. कि आपके marks वगैरह बताए नहीं जाते, तो आपको previous years के भी marks वगैरह नहीं पता होते, तो आपको हर stage पे अपना best देना होता है. 2 stages ही हैं. आपको पता है, the best thing about this exam is that there is no main stage. Directly from prelims, you get to appear for the interview. So it is a golden opportunity to get into such nice group A and B government jobs.
And so someone is asking about what is the source we should use for industrial relations and labor laws.
Okay, so we are running a free course as it is on our website. If you want, you can join the free course. We will be providing you with all the basic study material as part of that course. इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेशन, लेबर लॉ, सबका उसमें मटेरियल आएगा, सोशल सिक्योरिटी का आएगा, हर ऑल द टॉपिक्स सबके आपको नोट्स मिलेंगे, आपको टेस्ट भी प्रोवाइड किए जाएंगे एज पार्ट ऑफ द फ्री कोर्स. तो फ्री कोर्स में आपको सब कुछ मिल सकता है. अगर आप ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करना चाहते हैं, इफ यू वांट टू प्रैक्टिस मोर, इफ यू वांट मोर स्टडी मटेरियल, इफ यू लाइक आई सेड कि बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो प्रीलिम्स नहीं दे देंगे और बहुत टाइम है, तो आप थरोली पढ़ना चाहते हो तो आप हमारा पेड कोर्सेज ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. उनमें आपको ज़्यादा क्लासेस मिलेंगी, ज़्यादा स्टडी मटेरियल मिलेगा, ज़्यादा टेस्ट मिलेंगे प्रैक्टिस के लिए, तो यू कैन ज्वाइन दैट. और एज सच बुक्स रिकमेंड करना इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. इवन मैं आपको स्टैंडर्ड सोर्स बता सकता हूँ कि जैसे कोड ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेशंस है या कोड ऑन सोशल सिक्योरिटी है. आपको पता हो लेबर कोड, सर आपको लेबर कोड्स के बारे में आपको पढ़ाएंगे आगे, तो आप लेबर कोड्स देखोगे, 4 लेबर कोड्स हैं, वो सब आपका सोर्स मटेरियल. लेकिन वो एक्ट्स आप पढ़ोगे, दे आर वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, दे यूज वेरी टेक्निकल टर्म्स, एंड दिस एग्जाम इज ऑल अबाउट सिंपल डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस. सो factual information becomes important rather than technical understanding of the acts. So reading bare acts is not going to be very useful. What I would suggest is that you focus on some material which is already curated. So curated materials will help you a lot. This is what I would like to say. And lot of material is available. See, it's not about money also, because most of this material is out there for free. We are also giving it out for free. Just join our free course, join our Telegram groups. We'll be posting all the things there. So just give you 100%. मेहनत आप लोगों को करनी है. सोर्स मटेरियल वगैरह सब हम लोग दे देंगे आपको. आप लोगों को पढ़ना है और बहुत प्रैक्टिस करनी है, बिकॉज द कंपटीशन इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी टफ. एक मार्क से गेम इन और आउट होगा सबका.
करेक्ट. So yeah, so source as I said.
अच्छा, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट. मैंने किसी का कमेंट आ रहा है स्टूडेंट का कि यू आर फ्रॉम आर्किटेक्ट बैकग्राउंड. हाँ, तो इट्स फाइन. द बैकग्राउंड और द स्ट्रीम पर से इज नॉट अ इशू as far as the notification is there. In past notifications also, और इस बार वाले notification में भी there is no issue of streams. As far as background is concerned, कोई भी background के लोग ये एग्जाम को दे सकते हैं. कॉमर्स, आर्ट्स, साइंस, whatever be.
I would like to, sir, clarify something here, because a lot of people would be having severe doubts about this, because they have put up two types of qualifications. One is compulsory, one is desirable. So in compulsory qualification is that you have to be a graduate from any recognized university in India. However, when it comes to desirable qualifications, they have put accountancy, law, etc. So mind you, not enough desirable candidates or candidates with desirable qualifications are available right now who can compete for this exam. So UPSC, what it does is it makes it, even for everyone in this case, because last two batches we have seen in, sir, your batch as well, in our batch as well. So those in the recent AOU recruited batch as well, there were hardly 5 to 10% people who had the desirable qualifications and who got through. Rest 80 to 90% of the people, they are general people who have not had any desirable qualification which are mentioned in the notification. Therefore,
So
don't
is
need
this
to worry about.
desirable qualification also there for AOEO post?
Yes,
also?
sir. It's the same for both the profiles.
So another thing about desirable profile or desirable criteria is that when you are filling the form, I don't know, इस स्टेज के फॉर्म में आता है या नेक्स्ट स्टेज में?
It does not come in this stage.
दिस स्टेज, हाँ, नेक्स्ट स्टेज में जब आपसे पूछेंगे ना डिजायरेबल क्राइटेरिया, तो even you can put out some courses which are related to those areas. For example, I had done MBA. So MBA is not part of the desirable qualification, but within my MBA, I had done courses on industrial relations, I had done courses on industrial management, and some things like that. So I mentioned those in my that form. That can be mentioned there, and I mentioned that. So I was asked about those things in my interview also. So that also you can do. Whatever you think is relevant to whatever they have mentioned. I think they have mentioned 3-4 things.
3-4 things are there majorly, but sir, you're completely
if
right.
You have studied law, because I studied law also as part of my MBA program, so I mentioned that also there. So it helps. तो आप ये मेंशन कर सकते हो वहां पे. और देखो, ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं, आप डेलिबरेटली कुछ गलत इंफॉर्मेशन मत डालो कभी भी एप्लीकेशन में, और आप जेन्युइनली अपने तरफ से जो भी डालोगे उसको कोई नेगेटिव कंसीडर नहीं करेगी यूपीएससी कभी भी. दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव सीन.
Correct. Someone is asking about the probable exam date.
Well, this is the most popular question, I guess. कि एग्जाम कब होगी? तो see, it's all speculation. एग्जाम के डेट्स का भी पिछले मैं देख रहा था 1.5-2 साल से स्पेकुलेशन चल रहा था. We never became a part of it. कि ये कभी भी आ सकता है. Nobody knew. In fact, I know so many people from the EPFO senior people also. Nobody knew, actually. No one has idea about these things, right? It's all speculation that is going on through RTIs, this, that. But I think you should just wait it out. Learn to be patient, and पेशेंस आप रखो. जब आना होगा तब आएगा, और सबके लिए सेम टाइम पे डेट आएगा. और आप पढ़ाई करते रहो, अपना बेस स्ट्रॉन्ग करते रहो. आपको एप्टीट्यूड स्ट्रॉन्ग ऐसे भी आपका होना चाहिए. योर जीएस शुड एनीवेज बी स्ट्रॉन्ग. एंड ये कुछ एडिशनल टॉपिक्स हैं, ये आप अच्छे से कर लो तो आपका 360 डिग्री प्रिपरेशन कवर हो जाएगा. दैट इज इट. किसी ने पूछा कि हाउ मच ओल्ड करंट अफेयर्स इज इनफ फॉर दिस एग्जाम. नाउ सी, करंट अफेयर्स एज सच इज वेरी लो as far as I have seen all the last 3-4 papers, including both EO, AO and EPFC. So current affairs as such is not that much
not that much important.
However, if you are in constant touch of the current affairs, you are more likely to do better than others. मतलब अगर आप constantly current affairs पढ़ रहे हो, पिछला जब से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल, तो you will do better than others. That is what I think.
True, sir. Basically what they are doing is, current affairs is also somewhat of a specific type in this exam. One part is very different from UPSC civil services, that the factoids like magazines, the newspapers, or maybe the famous books which have been recently written, famous persons, famous awards, etc., which is generally not asked in civil services examination these days. They can also be asked here, number one. And the other aspect is that the current affairs pertaining to the syllabus which is there in EPFO specific part, in the third compartment, all of it is also very relevant. So you will keep getting that guidance, in due course.
हाँ, जैसे जो सर ने बताया, तो मेरे ख्याल से ये इसमें एक क्राइटेरिया ये भी है कि सोशल सिक्योरिटी, फॉर एग्जांपल सोशल सिक्योरिटी की स्कीम्स, अब ये करंट अफेयर्स का भी पार्ट है. आप पढ़ रहे हो ये कहीं ना कहीं, लेकिन ये सोशल सिक्योरिटी के सिलेबस का भी पार्ट है. लेबर लॉज में रिफॉर्म्स होना, लेबर कोड, इनके
तो
बेसिक्स,
करंट अफेयर्स का तो टाइप है, इसलिए थोड़ा सा वो
देयर इज अ स्लाइट ओवरलैप, बट आप उसको जिस तरीके से भी देखना चाहिए, करंट अफेयर्स है वो या स्टैटिक है, there is going to be such overlaps. So session is already crossed 6 p.m., which was our target time, and sorry that Shailendra Jain sir could not join us because of this technical glitch, and we had to join from our laptop camera. I hope the audio quality was good and not very bad. So we would like to end this session very quickly. So if you have any doubts, anyone wants to ask any questions, you are free, just type it out. कोई भी टाइप की क्वेरी हो ईपीएफओ के बारे में, जॉब के बारे में, तैयारी के बारे में, कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, तो आप हम लोगों को बता सकते हो. बाकी एज आई सेड, स्टे इन टच, वी विल बी मीटिंग यू फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम to discuss how your preparation is going, and we'll be guiding you throughout your journey, and hope you join this fine organization and contribute to nation building. So that's it from my side. Dhananjay sir will also give his closing remark, and maybe then.
Yeah, so the last doubt that someone has written, I would like to address it first. That can we expect the exam in July? Yes, you can keep expecting. You have to expect. You have to expect exam in June, July, August, September, and any given date. So you have to be ready for the worst and hope for the best, because that is always the way to go in government exams. That prepare as if the exam is going to happen in the month of June only, and suppose if it happens in August, September, you'll have enough time for revision, etc., and you will keep adding to your report there. So whatever time you have, utilize it judiciously and use the resources to your best advantage, because it's a very golden opportunity. 577 vacancies for one department, for one government job. It might be unprecedented for the last 7-8 years that we have been tracking, at least, right? So all the best from my side as well.
All right, bye everyone. We will see you soon, maybe next week. Till then, goodbye and happy preparing. We have posted a lot of content already. I hope we'll post some over the weekend, and you will have enough for the week. Thank you. Bye everyone. Acha, there is one last comment also, sir. So, sir, say total EPFO exam, simple words, sir, so that we can get it.
Say total EPFO APFC exam in simple words.
See, motivation के लिए कुछ बोलने के लिए बोल रहे हैं, तो मोटिवेशन आपको कैसे मिलेगी? मोटिवेशन इसलिए मिलेगी क्योंकि जैसे स्टार्टिंग में मैंने बोला, दिस इज द इजीएस्ट एग्जाम. अगर आप मुझसे पूछोगे ना, तो मैंने बहुत एग्जाम्स दिए अपने लाइफ में. दिस इज परहैप्स द वन विद द इजीएस्ट सिलेबस एटलीस्ट. ऐसे कोई भी एग्जाम इजी नहीं होती इंडिया में, आपको पता है. लाखों लोग कंपीट कर रहे होते हैं, एंड यू हैव टू बी अ विनर. तो आपको विनर तो होना ही है. तो मोटिवेशन यही है कि आपको ज्यादा प्रिपरेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. यू हैव टू बी गुड एट those little bit of few things. So it's easy to master, but it requires a lot of practice and lot of your time and hard work.
And look, sir, like we discussed, we have divided the whole stuff into 3 compartments. So what you have to be is, you have to be very good in one compartment, you have to be good in the other, you can be a little bit here and there in the third, but not go below average in the third. So identify your compartments and you identify your weaknesses, and start working accordingly, and try to devote time according to your own strengths and weaknesses, and that way you can easily sail through this exam.
Okay, so with that very nice suggestion, बहुत ही सर ने बहुत उपयोगी, जिसको बोलते हैं, आपको लास्ट में सलाह दिया, आप उसको मानो और keep preparing. All the best. See you all
the best.
soon.